Check out this image. To me, this image is cool. It's an old ruin in Arizona, but it lacks contrast. The sun was actually beginning to go into some clouds, and it's starting to mute the effect of that sunlight that you would get in a place like Arizona. I don't like the contrast. What is contrast? On a two-dimensional surface, contrast is smoke and mirrors. We can't really change contrast. We change what we see. Contrast is how our mind perceives the difference between light and dark. If I can make the dark areas darker in this image at the exact same time I'm making the lighter areas lighter, my mind will go, oh, more contrast. That's what we're going to do. We're going to come over here and create a curves adjustment layer. This is what we call a standard bump curve. I want you to put a point right in the middle. Click your mouse right there. Put another point about mid-tone highlights right about there. Notice it does this. It curves. We want the light areas lighter, so we're going to pull up. But the curve, acting like that's a gimbal, is going to push this down. And if you watch that image, you get a perception that there is more contrast. Cool thing about using curves. You say, Andy, I don't want to do my highlights anymore. I'm going to blow something out, but I need my darker areas to be darker. We can put another point right there. Just click on that line. I love this. Now I'll use my arrow keys, but as I move that down, look very carefully. My darker areas are getting darker, but the lighter areas are staying put because they're locked in by this one right here. A standard S curve, and it's used for bumping contrast. You got too much? You can change it. Say, well, Andy, that's pretty cool, but you know what? The sky was fine the way it was, and this is why we're here for a mask. Same thing we did with levels. I need to isolate the sky in this image. I don't want that to change. It was fine before you started. If that's what you want to do, let's come over here and pick up this tool right here, which is the Quick Selection tool. No options to worry about. Just come over here, get right about here, click, and begin dragging. Now, I don't know. Did you see that? Because I didn't. It was too fast. So we have to do an instant replay. Control D, deselect. Get here again with quick selection. Begin moving around and slowly move up. This is slow-mo, right? Boom, there I did it. I love that tool. Why did it go so fast? Because there is such a difference between those rocks or those bricks and what's going on up here. We now have that area selected. I don't want to create a whole new adjustment layer and make the mask like we did when we worked with levels. I just want to change this one. Make sure you have it selected right here. Make sure you have black as your foreground color right here. Reach over on your keyboard, hold down the Alt key and press the backspace key in Windows. Hold down the Option key and press the Delete key on a Mac. Same keys, different names. That is the shortcut for filling an area with the current foreground color. As you can see, all those areas are now black. And just to prove a point, it doesn't matter what we do now, that sky ain't going nowhere. We have isolated the sky with our own mask. I love curves. I love doing things like this. I really love masks. You combine them all together, you can do some pretty cool stuff.